Our next inductee is an individual who achieved greatness in his chosen profession. By greatness, I mean he was impossible to cover. He did it through dedication, intelligence, and a relentless work ethic. Again, please turn your attention to the video screens.
While it's sometimes hard for top NFL draft picks to live up to team and fan base expectations, Andre Johnson met and exceeded those expectations during his Hall of Fame career. The third overall pick in the 2003 NFL Draft, he played wide receiver for the Houston Texans from 2003 to 2014. Johnson was voted to 7 Pro Bowls and was a 2-time All-Pro selection. He led the NFL in receiving yards twice and led the AFC in receiving 3 different seasons. Johnson had 1,062 career receptions for a total of 14,185 receiving yards and scored 70 touchdowns. Johnson single-handedly rewrote the Houston Texans' record books, holding team bests in career receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and receptions in a single season. He also set season records for receiving yards and most seasons with 100-plus receptions. As great as he was on the field, Johnson was also a star off the field by quietly setting up shopping trips at Toys R Us for underprivileged kids at Christmas time in the Houston area. In 2018, Johnson was the first honoree in the Houston Texans Ring of Honor. Now please welcome Andre Johnson as the first member of the Houston Texans to join the Texas Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I think anytime you are inducted into a Hall of Fame is truly humbling. I'd like to thank the Texas Sports Hall of Fame committee for voting for me, and all these other great athletes that are up here with me. It's truly amazing. In 2003, when I was drafted by the Houston Texans, I really didn't know what to expect. I grew up in Miami. I went to college in Miami. It was my first time being away from home. And, I was coming to a new franchise, and I knew it would be some tough times. And I remember going to my second year, I made my first Pro Bowl, and I told this story earlier. They would call the teams up in alphabetical order, and they said the Houston Texans were up next. I don't know who the guy was, but I saw a guy mumble to one of the guys who worked in the NFL and was like, "Who in the hell is here from the Houston Texans?" And that was something that always stuck with me. It was always something that I kept, inside of me. It was a fire that burned that I wanted to put the Houston Texans on the map. That was my biggest thing. That was something I wanted to do. When you thought of the Houston Texans, you thought of Andre Johnson. I really didn't know much about the Texas Sports Hall of Fame until last year when Coach Kubiak, a guy I played for, Coach Gary Kubiak, was inducted. And just to walk around today and see some of the things that are in there is truly amazing. And now that me being a part of it and being inducted, it's a very, very special honor. I would like to thank my family, my mom, my uncle, my brother. They're pretty much been my support system throughout all my years of playing. Whether I was playing or not playing, rain, sleet, snow, they were at every game, and I truly appreciate you guys for that. To my mom, I appreciate you so much. I was telling a story about you the other day. I think I was about 7 years old. I forgot my football cleats for a game, so I was playing, and I was playing in tennis shoes, and the first half of the game I was playing very terrible. I was a quarterback at the time, so every time I would try to make a cut, I would slip and fall, so I'm crying and not really into the game. So at halftime, I'm walking off the field, and I don't know if this has happened to anybody in the room, but my mom ran on the field and jacked me up at the 50-yard line in front of everybody. So I'd like to thank you for instilling that toughness in me. But once again, in closing, I'd like to thank the Houston Texans organization, Bob McNair, who's passed on, him, his family, Janice McNair, just for giving me the opportunity to come and be a part of their organization and let me live out my childhood dreams. So I'd like to thank all the Houston Texan fans. I mean, I know we got a lot of Cowboy fans in here, and with Jason, me and Jason was actually drafted the same year, so this is kind of crazy, we're going in together. But I'd like to thank all the Houston Texans fans for all over, man. The support you guys showed us throughout the years, it was truly amazing. So I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight, and just thank you.